What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video, and today is another episode of the Schmoedown show. Still the show about the Schmoedown with no name. But first off, I just want to cut right to the chase. If you are new, thanks so much for taking the time to like, comment, subscribe, clicking on the video, checking out the content in general means the absolute world. But man, have we got a lot to talk about today. So basically, if you are new, this is the show about everything and anything involved in the Schmoedown. Happens every Monday, trying to keep it consistent. Last week we talked about the Atlanta live event, which is now live for everyone. So if you want to talk spoilers about the title match, talk about them down below. If you want to talk spoilers about the match we're talking about today, which is the Schmoedown Throwdown that happened last Saturday. If you want to talk about that, it was the Saturday before, I apologize. Put it down below in the comments, but I'm going to be very clear that this is a spoiler video. I'm going to be talking spoilers. I'm going to be throwing everything out there. So if you have not seen the live stream, I don't think by the time this video goes up that it'll be up yet. I could be completely wrong. I could be 100% wrong. But just in case the video has not been released to the public yet by the time this video goes up, because I'm kind of backlogging these videos. Spoiler warning. Big time spoiler warning for the Schmoedown Throwdown between the Family and Corruption, #1 contender match to face the Founding Fathers. There is a big old spoiler warning on this video, just in case it hasn't been released to the public yet. Atlanta now is free reign. It's been released to the public. We can talk about it. We can do it. And yeah, I think, without further ado, I think let's just kind of hop into it. I'm only today going to talk about the Throwdown. I was going to talk about some other topics, but this is kind of just the biggest thing that happened, and a lot happened inside of the match. So I think let's just kind of jump into this. This might be a little bit of a shorter episode, but nonetheless, we're going to talk about it. So let's just hop into it. We got the #1 contender match, the Family, which is on the Usual Suspects, against Corruption, which is of course on Corruption. There is a lot of storylines that were going into this match. One, Kalinowski, originally when he came into this league, he was on DC Movie News, and that all broke up, and Corruption was formed after the Action Guys, which was the former singles champion Ben Bateman and Andrew Guy. When Team Action beat DC Movie News, that is when the lore and the history of Corruption began. So there is a lot of tension, there is a lot of story behind Guy versus Kalinowski. So that was kind of the biggest storyline going into this. That's the storyline that they highlighted, that's the storyline they talked about, and a lot of the match was Kalinowski versus Guy. It was them going back and forth, and I really enjoyed that. I was really looking forward to the drama. Now, going into the match, there were potentially two storylines that could have come out of this match. We could have got Corruption versus the Founding Fathers 4, which I think everyone wanted to see, or we could have got Merle versus Guy 2. I wanted both, so I was a little torn. I personally believed that Corruption would pull it out. I think Chance is on another level. I think Mike is just really good. I think McQueenie is one of the best in the game knowledge-wise, but Guy is hit or miss. So I thought, I'm more confident in Corruption than I am with the Family. So I went with the Family, and we hop right into the match. You have Chance Ellison getting a perfect round in the first round. He does miss the bonus, but they've got a lead going into the wheel round. And this is huge because then Corruption goes up to the wheel and lands Spinner's Choice. And since there is this new rule that you could add in your Geekdom slices to the wheel, they had DCEU on the wheel. So Kalinowski, of course, DC Movie News, took DCEU, and they had a perfect second round. So not only do you have a perfect first round from Chance Ellison, one half of Corruption, you have a perfect second round with no multiple choice, no steals, nothing. Then you have the Family go up to the wheel, and they landed on Coen Brothers, and they missed one question, which then Corruption stole for a point. And they also went to multiple choice, I believe, twice. So they clawed back a little bit, but there was, I believe it was a 5-point lead going into the final round for Corruption. And then we went down to the final question. You had McQueenie hit the 2. Guy missed the 3, which was fatal. Fatal. Then you had Kalinowski hit the 2. Yet Ellison hit the 3. So we had a tie ball game because the family hit their 5. We had a tie ball game, so we went into the 5th question, down to the last question, and of course, you guys already know, if you watched, Corruption took it. We will be getting Founding Fathers versus Corruption 4. Very much looking forward to it. Let me know down below in the comments, what did you guys think of this match? It was quick. It was kind of to the point. A lot of points were scored. Corruption tied the most points in a team event. They tied it. They didn't beat it, but they tied it. And the family lost. But the drama didn't stop there. So you had the post-game interviews. You know, anything can happen in the post-game interviews. So you had Corruption talk. They did their thing, blah, blah, whatever. They're done. The family comes up to talk. And honestly, to my shock, because Drew McQueenie is someone that really I don't think is into the theatrics, is into the antics. He's more of just like the trivia guy. He obviously does partake, but he's not like big on it. So that's why this thing I'm gonna say is so shocking. He announced his retirement and he left in the middle of the interview. And the issue with that was that Sam Levine wasn't there. Janine was there as their backup manager. I thought she did a fine job. You know, there wasn't a lot of managerial things that happened in this match. But nonetheless, Sam Levine wasn't there. And that made Drew, his former person on Above the Line, former teammate, that made him fairly angry. And we saw Andrew Guy falter in the 5th round, in the 3rd round, missed the 3-pointer. Queenie was over it, so he retired. Now we saw Andrew Guy do this last season. The reason why this is different though is the fact that Andrew Guy is all about the antics. He's about the drama. I don't see Drew McQueenie being about that. That's just, so this is very concerning because I feel like if he says it, he really means it. Which is a big deal because instead of taking Shazam with their number 1 pick, you took the family because you had McQueenie. That's a big deal because you just wasted your number 1 and number 2 overall picks. And I'm sorry, I love Andrew Guy to death. I think he's great, but you took McQueenie number 1. You did. Guy is really good, but like I said at the beginning, he's very inconsistent. So you just wasted your number 1 overall pick when you could have taken Shazam, a team that is going to be competing for the belts as well as 2 separate competitors that are both going to be competing for the singles title all season long. Kind of question now whether that or not that was the best move for Sam Levine to take his friend Drew McQueenie instead of taking Shazam. I personally would have taken Shazam from the beginning. That's just me. But let me know down below in the comments. Do you think McQueenie is bluffing? Do you think he's being legit? Let me know. I don't know. I'm honestly really surprised. But then another thing that happened after that is this is kind of Kalinowski comes in with a big old grin on his face because this is what happened to Kalinowski a few seasons ago. The same thing happened. Guy's team beat Kalinowski's team and they broke up. Kalinowski's team beat Guy's team and they broke up. So they had a little moment, you know, it was all antics and stuff, but then they announced, I guess, the card, or half of the card for Houston. We're gonna get Guy versus Kalinowski. Gosh, I am so excited for that event. That's going to be a really big time. Last time guy was in Houston, it didn't end so well for him. A la, got a chair to the back. That was also a game to prove who was better. This is going to be a match to prove who's better. So let's just say the drama is going to be aplenty when we are in Houston in April. And then one more side thing, there was a pre-credit scene between the I think it wasn't Warfather, it was the Barbarian and Ben the Bandit Goddard, looking like we're going to tee up a potential singles or Inner Geekdom match. I couldn't really tell what was being teed up there because I know that the Barbarian has already competed in singles, so we might see a Bandit versus Barbarian singles match coming down the line. But guys, I think it's kind of it. I think we kind of covered it. The family was defeated. We get Founding Fathers versus Corruption 4 for the team's championship. It is revenge for the Orlando event for Corruption. And I think it's just going to be a great event whenever it happens. But let me know down below in the comments, what did you guys think of the event? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What was the most surprising thing? I mean, Drew McQueenie, honestly, that was the most surprising thing for me. Like, I do not believe he's bluffing. I think if he means it, he means it. Sam Levine is going to have to play hardcore damage control. But guys, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for taking the time to click on the video, like and comment and subscribe. And let me know down below in the comments, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen in the future with the family, the usual suspects? Just let me know down below in the comments. But guys, that is pretty much it. Thank you all so much for taking the time to like, comment, subscribe, and watch the video. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next video.